So we know that here's the input. It's going to go into here. So we're going to drill that hole. Okay, so you've seen that before. Now we got that hole like so, and this thing will fit right into here. And the power supply, let's see here. Here's the power supply. I hope that hole was big enough for that to fit in. A little bit too tight. Okay, so we got to go one more size up. But that's how we'll do that, and then we'll have the power ready to go. So you won't see anything when I'm all done. Okay, we had to go up to a 3/8 inch bit. So now, we'll just, from the back here, we'll just take and plug that in. Nice and clean looking. I'm happy with that. I'm rebuilding the base. Remember I showed you where I chiseled all the way through the original one? And as I was editing my video, I noticed that I did it not the most proper way. I was lucky, and I was showing you how I was doing it. I want to show you the more proper way to do that, and that is to use a fence when you're routing, especially when you're routing on the end grain like that. And what drove me to it is I was doing this one, and I got a catch, and I lost the corner right there. So I had to chop off 1/4 of an inch off the end, and now I got to recut it so that it's nice and clean. And then I realized that I had shown you the wrong way. So here's the right way, utilizing, this is the shaper fence it's called. But you can use it for routing, because routing and shaping are kind of the same thing. So that I've got more surface to hold my wood against as I go, and I've got depth control by adjusting the fence in and out, so that I only cut little portions at a time off of this. So I'll show you what I mean really quick. Clean, easy, steady run, no catches. So now I'm not to my final depth. We'll just adjust this now and give it a tap in, and I'll make several more passes. I think I got about 2 more passes after this to get all the way down to the bearing on that. so that I'm right where I want to be. So I wanted to show you the right way. I apologize. I don't want anybody to get hurt, that's for sure. All right, YouTube. See if we can see now. I've got a good, not quite 1/4 of an inch sticker on my new base plate. So that'll give me more play when I get ready to cut the pocket out in here, because I've got to duplicate that pocket up here. It'll be nicer. And then one other benefit that you didn't see last time, this part is so thin, and here I've got a real nice thick place. I've got to put my infrared sensor right here, because the LED lights, you can change the color. They're RGB LEDs. So this will give me room to be able to bore a hole into here for that infrared sensor to fit into. So it'll be looking like it, how do you say it? Not handmade. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy. It's a bummer that it happened, but also I'm glad you got to see it, because we all have our times when things don't go the way we were sure hoping, and this definitely was one of them. But of course, I get my walnut, as you know, in rough sawn from the sawmill. So I think it was only like $2.25 a foot for me, a linear foot for that. So it wasn't a whole lot of money, but if you're buying it like from a wood store or at a big box store, it's expensive, man. So, you know, take your time, be careful, and it happens. Morning, YouTube, or afternoon, or I don't know what it is. All I know is it's cold. Wintertime in Oklahoma. Alright, so, see this little guy? This is the infrared detector that came off of my LEDs. And this is the front where I want this to be. So the challenge is I want it to be embedded, you know. So I got about 1/4 of an inch diameter here. So I've got a Forstner bit, 1/4 inch Forstner bit, and you go like so. It's pretty darn close. Since I don't have a 1/4 inch cove bit for the router, I ended up having to use the Forstner bit. So I sandwiched the base with another piece of wood so that I can center the Forstner bit right there at the seam of the two pieces of wood to cut the little half dome shape that I need on the bottom. These guys all drilled out. How are you guys? Alright, so this is some brass rod. I think it's like an 1/8 inch brass rod. Drilled a hole. The primer hole on the bottom of these things is really small. So I took and drilled 1/8 inch hole in the center of it into the primer on the bottom of the shell. Cut a little piece of that brass rod. And now we drilled an 1/8 inch hole and just go like so, and that'll help hold this in place. So what I'll do is I'll just super glue this in, and should be good to go from that point forward.